She's back. Hi, I'm back. What? I dyed my hair. I need to take this off because it doesn't match the outfit. It was just for the bit. We transes have had it too good for too long. We've been pillaging the bathrooms and we need to be taught a lesson. Do I have to leave the UK? I don't know yet. I do not know yet. I know that I mentioned that I don't like talking about activist things, serious things. I want to keep it light and fun, but things be changing, and things be changing real damn fast. I feel like I don't really have a choice to not talk about them because I am super affected by it, and I'm sure a lot of people are very freaked out. It's becoming increasingly more hostile to be trans in apparently any country, except Norway. I'm dating a Norwegian guy, and he says that they have self-ID, so green card. If you're not up to date, recently the UK amended the 2010, I wrote a script. It's very hard to not yap. This is focused yapping. Try Icky. Recently, the UK Supreme Court amended the 2010 Equalities Act so that any reference to women was women who were born women, not trans women, okay? It was going for biological sex, which scientists, I'm just gonna say scientists like Trump does, the best scientists, they say that that is biological nonsense.
Hey, Asher the editor here. Let's talk about chromosomes. The basic structure.
I'm not gonna get into it. Biology is very complicated, okay? Shut up.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Basically, when you're done here, go and watch this video by Forrest Valakai. It's an excellent deep dive into why the bigoted appeal to biology is bollocks. Back to you, Ashley.
We, of course, are still women, but we are just not cis women, but it was a very good excuse for the UK media to write trans women, not women. Obviously, this is a very important topic and not at all a distraction from how terrible the healthcare, infrastructure, education, minimum wage, workers' rights. It is not a distraction from the rich getting richer and the common people getting poorer. Trans women going into female bathrooms is Armageddon. The EHRC, the Equalities for Human Rights Commission, you would think is, you know, a neutral party for human rights, but at this point, they're basically just a trans hate group that was leaked in 2022 that their internal staff was sending emails that were incredibly transphobic. That's cool. They decided to kindly point out that since the ruling, trans women cannot use female spaces, which isn't actually true. That's not what the ruling says at all. But they're using this as a kind of excuse to push on this and make it like law. Barclays Bank in the UK has become like the first UK business to declare trans women can't use their female bathrooms, or I guess they can't use their male bathrooms either if you're a trans man. I forgot I even had a Barclays account, so I got into it and I have to wait 4 days to take the money out, and I'm gonna shut the fucking account, which does nothing but makes me feel better. The reason that they can't use them is because it would make them mixed sex spaces. We have had mixed sex spaces in the UK forever, okay? We have toilets all across the country, from service stations to restaurants to anything that have mixed sex staff. You know, a woman will go into the male's toilets to clean, a man will go into the women's toilets to clean. They have signs up telling you anyone of any sex could be coming in to clean these bathrooms. As well as this, a mum will take her son into the women's room, a dad will take his daughter into the men's room. It is not a big deal. You're not breaking some kind of sacred oath to enter the opposite sex space bathroom. You're there to piss or poop and hopefully wash your hands. This is obviously terrible. It's awful. It sucks. I was hoping that it would turn into a non-issue. That's why I didn't really talk about it much. I was hoping that it would kind of fade away because it's very hard to enforce because it's not a law change. You know, what are you going to do, like genital inspect people? But it seems to be snowballing. Obviously, that was not enough torture for the transes. There is currently a bill going around in UK Parliament, and this bill has had an amendment added to it by hold on, I need to read it because I'm dumb. The Shadow Technology Minister, which I know in the UK is a thing. We have a shadow cabinet, but it sounds evil. I'm sorry, it just sounds evil, okay? You call yourself the Shadow Technology Minister. Of course you're gonna put transphobic amendments in the bill. The amendment to this bill basically includes all trans people having their data reverted to their birth sex. Things like the Passport Office, the DVLA, HMRC, they will expunge your records and replace them with like Mr. and that you're male and stuff. I have a GRC, gender recognition certificate, which legally legally changed my gender. I got sent a new birth certificate, which now is just garbage. I jumped through hoops to get it, and now it means nothing. If I ever run out of toilet paper, I'm covered. I think what this means is if I were to get like I would have to get a new passport that has maybe amended on it. Like, because I have a GRC, I get the benefit of it saying my amended sex, which is female. But I don't know if it would still say my birth sex or if it would have to be birth sex. I don't know. It's pretty vague. All of this shit is vague. It's just excuses to obliterate trans people from existence. Again, not a distraction, the most important issue. This is an opposition amendment, so the current UK political party of power is Labour, which are supposed to be left-wing. Keir, trans women aren't women, Starmer, is the Prime Minister, and he should shoot the bill down because it's an opposition bill, which usually, like, things like that don't go through. It was previously dropped because it violates the European Convention on Human Rights. But they thought, you know what? I'll just try again. Like, the Supreme Court ruling on its own was not world-ending, but it really is just being used as an excuse, and you can tell this is an example of that. They decided to try again because legally, trans people suck now. Obviously, if this went through, this would mean that travel is a huge issue. It's already a huge issue for a lot of trans people, either because they can't get amended documents or they struggle with, you know, passing and they get prejudice or they, you know, get patted down. There's just a lot. My passport currently says female. I've had no issues with it. It's been great. I've used it to travel. I haven't traveled a lot, but I've used it to travel to a few different countries and it's been fine. If that passport changed to male, I would not travel. They would do the opposite of what they want. They would not get rid of trans people. I would just be stuck on this island. I spoke to Pirby and she said that her passport had male on it a few years ago and everything was completely fine. I don't know though. For me, it's just a personal discomfort. I wouldn't like it. It would be awkward going through security. I already feel gross. I was out yesterday in my city with Pirby and I went to use the public bathroom and I was so conscious of it. I felt, I just felt kind of scared, you know, that something could happen. And I was already scared because of all this news anyway, but it was like a low tingle of like someone is going to shout at me. But now it's like, I might get attacked or something. So yeah, I don't know. If this goes through and we have to change our legal documents, maybe I would just leave beforehand. I know that that is a very privileged position. I know not a lot of people can just up and run. But honestly, I don't think I could afford it. I think it would be a bad decision, but I feel like I would have to do it. I would have to leave whilst my documents still said the correct gender, whilst I still had the birth certificate. And I don't know. I don't even know where is safe to go, where is comfortable, where trans people are accepted. And I don't have much hope, which I know sucks. I'm supposed to... Sorry, that's my antidepressant alarm. I know that I'm supposed to be like, I am here on the internet and people like my videos and I am positive and happy and a distraction and I love that and I do that and that's what I want to do. But it is harder and harder to ignore things because it's just going so bad, you know? There is absolutely nothing wrong with being trans, but they are trying incredibly hard to make you think that there is. We could have a "we're so back," you know? The "it's over" does not burn as bright as the "we're so back" inside. I know this will pass because we've had this before. They've used this playbook before on all kinds of communities, and ideally, people outside of those communities have learned. It's very important if you're cis to fucking help, please, because there's about 5 trans people, and yeah, you guys are the majority and you guys are cool. Help. I don't know, I'm venting. This is like therapy. Thank you. Please look after yourselves. I'm sorry that this was sad. I just am stressed. There's new X stuff coming out really soon. I got a bunch of laboo-boos. If you don't follow the stream channel, why? We have fun. I promise we have fun. Don't we have fun, guys? They said yes. Yes, we do. I'm in too deep on Warhammer. I'm gonna paint as soon as this video ends. Help.